గ్రంథరా శ్రీమద్ భాగవతం కి, బృందదేవ తులసి మహారాణికి, హరే కృష్ణ మహామంత్రం కి నితాయ్ గౌర ప్రేమనాథ్. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, creation, chapter 7, the son of Drona punished, text number 58. This is the last text in this chapter. Putra Sokha Aturaha Sarve. Putra Shoka Aturaha Sarve. Putra Shoka Aturaha Sarve. Pandavaha Saha Krishnaya. Pandavaha Saha Krishnaya. Pandavaha Saha Krishnaya. Svana Prutana Yat Krityam. Svanamrutanam Yat Krityam. Svanamrutanam Yat Krityam. Chakru Nirmana Adikam. Chakrur Nirmana Adikam. Chakrur Nirmana Adikam. Putra Shokaturaha Sarve. Pandavaha Saha Krishnaya. Svanamrutanam Yat Krityam. Chakrur Nirmanadikam. Putra Shokaturaha Sarve. Pandavaha Saha Krishnaya. Svanamrutanam Yat Krityam. Chakrur Nirhana Adikam. Nirhara.
Putra Shokaturaha Sarve. Pandavaha Saha Krishnaya. Svanamrutanam Yat Krityam. Chakrur Nirhana. Putra Shokaturaha Sarve. Pandavaha Saha Krishnaya. Svanamrutanam Yat Krityam. Chakrur Nirhana.
Word meaning, synonyms. Putra, son. Soka, bereavement. Aturaha, overwhelmed with. Sarve, all of them. Pandavaha, the sons of Pandu. Saha, along with. Krishnaya, with Draupadi. Svanam, of the kinsmen. Prutanam, of the dead. Yet, what? Krityam, out to be done. Chakruhu, did perform. Nirharana, Adikam, undertakeable. Translation given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki translation. Thereafter, the sons of Pandu and Draupadi, overwhelmed with grief, performed the proper rituals for the dead bodies of their relatives. Please repeat the translation. Thereafter, the sons of Pandu and Draupadi, overwhelmed with grief, performed the proper rituals for the dead bodies of their relatives. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports for the first canto, 7th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Son of Drona Punished. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmelitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namavam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachyatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yeah, in this chapter, this is the last sloka, and in this sloka we are seeing the sons of Pandu, means all the 5 Pandavas, starting from Yudhishthira Maharaj, and Draupadi. Draupadi addressed here as Krishnaya. Krishnaya means one who is black in color. Draupadi is black in color. That's why she is called Krishnaya. Krishna means Lord Sri Krishna. Yeah, if you give dirgha, if you stretch that word, then it refers to Draupadi. So, Draupadi, along with her 5 husbands, has performed the final rituals with violent grief. And here it is mentioned proper rituals for the dead bodies of their relatives. If a relative passes away, what rituals has to be done? A Shastra is telling. If he is just a boy or a kid, if he is a sage, then their bodies has to be buried. It should not be given to the fire. Children's bodies and the saintly person's bodies are pure. They are not contaminated. Saintly persons are pure because his consciousness is always associated with Krishna, even in his sleep also. So their bodies we don't cremate. Rather, we'll make it samadhis or bury their bodies. Children also, they are very young. Their consciousness is not so polluted. So young children's bodies also buried in the ground. But elder people normally will take it to crematorium and will give it to the fire. Then after the fire, 13 days or 12 days contamination period will come. It's supposed to be a grief-stricken period. They should morose in these 13 days for the departed soul. They should remember his association. What is this happening? Something like that. And they should be morosed. In India, generally, we celebrate mainly 3 kinds of events. 3 kinds of events. One is marriages and birthday parties. Prabhupada this is told by Srila Prabhupada only. Other one is this one, death of a relative, and this one. One more, Prabhupada is telling. Marriages. And one more, for pleasing the Supreme Personality of God, Supreme Personality of Godhead and demigods, we perform some ceremonies like Satyanarayana Vrata, we do some kathas, some Shravana Sukvara Puja, some rituals to please the demigods and the Vishnu, we perform. That ceremony is also we perform, and one more our birthdays and marriage days we celebrate. The final one is to please our forefathers and father. We'll also perform death ceremonies. All these three ceremonies performed very lavishly in India. Even if you don't have money, also we'll borrow some money and we'll feed some people in those days, especially marriage days. In these days, Instagram reels, you should see how many varieties of food is served. In ancient days, nobody used to eat non-veg. In some portions of Andhra and Telangana, they don't serve non-veg during the marriage ceremonies or any other auspicious ceremonies. They'll only serve some sweets and vegetarian food. And how many varieties you are serving? Somebody else served 11, will serve 20. There is a competition to show who is greater, who is richer. According to their richness, 2-3 years back, one film star passed away, an old film star. His nephew gave a feast, a kind of a feast, with maybe 100 items. Because his nephew also is a film star. He's a great hero. He earns crores and crores for one film. So he has got so much money, he gave maybe 100 and some items, I heard. I'm not sure exactly, I didn't remember. See, all these ceremonies are celebrated. But the best thing to be done in these ceremonies, either it is a household marriage or birthday party, or it is a Satyanarayan Puja, some spiritual related activity, or it is a death anniversary. The best thing to be done is first the food to be offered to the Vishnu, then serve, then feed the people. That is the best thing Shastra is telling. Actually, the Sharda, the name itself, it is the prasadam of Vishnu. It's a prasadam of the Vishnu. Why 12 days or 13 days period has to be observed, the contamination period? Why it has to be observed? The Shastra is telling, these many days it's required to reform his body. Suppose a departed soul got stuck in a preta, as a preta, or is suffering, he got stuck in a hellish condition. To get them reformed, some pious credits are required. So, Sharda refers, it's a pinda, the rice balls what we make, it's actually first we offer to Vishnu, the prasadam we offer to that forefather. So he comes and eats that prasada, so he accumulates pious credits, he accumulates devotional credits, so that he relieved from the preta body and he acquires human body again in the next life. So because of that reason, we perform Shraddha. Then 13 days in the earthly planet is equal to many years in the hellish planets. Hellish planets also, they may suffer, they got stuck in some hell, means they has to suffer for many thousands of years. Those thousands of years is divided in equal to 12 days of the earthly planet. So these 12 days will do all the rituals, so he'll be relieved from that. He'll be released, not even relieved, he released from that hellish planet and he acquired some human body, some other body. Then, is it compulsory? Yes, it's compulsory. Everybody has to do. But one Acharya said, whoever is surrendered to Lord Krishna, whoever is surrendered his life to Lord Sri Krishna, for them it is not mandatory. Remaining all of them, it's mandatory. Whoever surrendered, the surrendered devotees, no need to perform Shraddha. Because of their pious credit, this body is given by their mother and father. Their mother and father also get a portion of it. In my other classes I mentioned also. Even a king of that kingdom also gets a portion of 1/6 portion, he accumulates the pious credit. Whatever all the 70 devotees, 80 devotees in ashram, all the folk boys, 200-300 folk boys, whatever they are doing japa, 1/6 portion goes to the king of this area. Then like that, 1/6 portion of another people sin also he'll get equally. So a Krishna consciousness devotee, it's for him it's not mandatory for performing Shraddha or these things. But final rituals you can take part in it, like giving fire to the body, that he can do. Even a sannyasi can allowed to do, he can also do that if he's only son, something like that. But it's not compulsory. Even if you don't do also, it will be taken care by Lord Krishna, because we are doing devotional service. Otherwise, these 13 days ceremony, it's compulsory for all the varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, for all of them, it is compulsory. According to their category, some days of contamination will be there. For some of them, it's only 11 days. Some of them, it's 12 days. Some of them, it's 13 days. The contamination period will be there. We have to follow that contamination period. During this contamination period, one should not chant Gayatri Japa also. One should not do any puja and attend any ritual. Many people, when I was going out for preaching, they used to ask, can we take prasadam? Some people denies for consuming prasadam also. It's very wrong. In any circumstance, any part, one can take only prasadam. So they should not cook and offer, but somebody gives prasadam, they can consume. That should not be denied. But in their home, they should not cook and offer to the Lord. That is denied. But they can take prasadam. Somebody else, they can cook and offer prasadam to Lord Vishnu or Krishna and deliver them. In olden days, some ceremonies there means their neighbors, their relatives cooks something and they gives. Some death ceremony means they don't cook in their house for next 11 days, 12 days. Their neighbors, their relatives, they'll cook and they'll bring vessels and they'll deliver in their vessels. See, please take these meals. But these days, who will give? All our unit families, they stay. All are separated. So, better in if your house, if you are cooking, better not to offer. But try to see as much as possible, try to take prasadam, something like that. Then we may ask a question. If body is available, we'll perform all these activities, final rituals, all these things we do. Suppose if it is accident, body is not in a shape, or yes, fell down from a hilltop and his body is not found, and he fell down he drowned in a ocean and his body is not found. What to do in that case? How to do final rituals? How to do? Body is not there, we have to do final rituals. How will do? How will cremate? Is there any possibility? Yes, Shastra is telling we can do one way is there. That is called Narayana Bali. What it is called? Narayana Bali. The procedure mentions like that. In your horoscope, you have a Pitru dosha. The dead body is not found. If your relative dead body is not found, and he has passed away in painful situation, very painful situation, and his death is very painful. In all these cases, Narayana Bali has to be done. Narayana Bali means a form of human being, a form has been made with wheat flour, and it is buried on sticks. Whatever rituals we do for these 13 days, all the rituals we'll do for that body, will cremate that body. And mainly it is done on the bank of a river, in holy places. Most of them in Karnataka means they'll do in Gokarna and Srirangapatana. In Andhra means they do in Rajamandri. Some other kshetras, some punya kshetras, they do Narayana Bali. Because their relative's body is not found. And in their horoscope, some Pitru dosha is there. Some ancestor is angry on that soul because of some reason. In that cases, Narayana Bali has to be done. They'll make a form of a shape and they'll bury in a sticks. And whatever you do, that ashes, they'll mix it in the river. Again, 11 days or 12 days contamination period they'll observe. All the rituals they do. Even some cases, if you harm a cobra, in that case also Narayana Bali is recommended. That is also considered, cobra killing also considered a sin in our land. So for that also normally we'll observe. And Prabhupada is telling, I told with the starting of the class, in India, we observe 3 kinds of ceremonies. In all these 3 kinds of ceremonies, one should recite the pastimes of Vamana Deva. One should recite the pastimes of the Vamana Deva. Then only the ceremony will be the successful. Sri Radha Govinda ki, Sri Nitya ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. If you read the pastimes of the Vamana Deva, then only the ceremony is successful or fulfilled. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam only. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, in the 8th canto, last words of which chapter? Eighth canto, 23rd chapter and 31st verse, it is mentioned. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada is writing, the translation says, whenever the activities of Vamadeva are described in the course of a ritualistic ceremony, whether ceremony be performed to please demigods, to please one's forefathers in Pitraloka, or to celebrate a social event like a marriage, that ceremony should be understood to be extremely auspicious. Whenever Vamana Deva's pastimes are read in these ceremonies, that ceremony understood to be very, very auspicious. And Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport, in all these ceremonies, large amount of money is spent, various activities, but it is suggested along with this recitation of wonderful activities of Vamana Deva, certainly the ceremony will be carried out successful and will be free from discrepancies. In that ceremony, any discrepancies are there. For this, the discrepancy will accumulate a dosha, will accumulate that faults and all will trouble us. If you want to become free from that faults, then we should recite pastimes of the Vamana Deva. Then we learned in this chapter, I'll just give the summary for this chapter and I'll conclude. See, after reading every chapter, if you understand the summary, then we understand the chapter very nicely. This chapter has got the 58 verses, first verse to 7th verse. Srila Vyasadeva's meditation and the samadhi is explained. 11th sloka to 11th sloka, 8th to 11th sloka, Vyasadeva teaches Bhagavatam to Sukadeva Goswami. And text number 11 to 12, Arjuna captures Ashwadhama. Text number 41 to 48, punishment of Ashwadhama is mentioned. If you categorize this chapter, it is divided like this. First verse to 7th verse. And Saunganaka Rishi inquires a question. Why did inquires about Vyasadeva's activities after Narada Muni's departure? So Vyasadeva, how he concentrated in meditation, all these things is explained in this first verse to 7th verse. Then 11th verse to 8th verse to 11th verse. If you see in the first canto, 4th chapter, Shaunaka Rishi asked Suta Goswami, why did Atma Rama, means self-satisfied, Parikshit Maharaj learned Srimad Bhagavatam? Learned Srimad Bhagavatam. He asked, because from womb only he was a self-realized soul. As soon as he came out from the womb, he started walking. Then why he learned Srimad Bhagavatam? Because he don't want to learn, then from Srimad Bhagavatam, 2 slokas Vyasadeva taught to 2 people. And he tells them, you go to the forest when you are capturing some birds and all, recite these slokas. That slokas are 3.2.23, 10.21.5. These 2 slokas were chanted by hunters. Then when Sukadeva Goswami heard these 2 slokas, he got attracted to the pastimes and he came back to his father and he learned Srimad Bhagavatam. That is explained from 8 to 11, how we learned is explained. Then we have seen Atma Rama Shloka also. Then from text number 12 to 40, Arjuna captures Ashwadhama. Then why Arjuna captured Ashwadhama? Because he killed 5 Upapandavas. These things are there that we have seen. Then from in this chapter, how Krishna is introduced in Srimad Bhagavatam. That also we have seen in this chapter. Then Ashwadhama, he got humiliated. How he is humiliated. That also we have seen. Because Arjuna tortured Ashwadhama's hairs so that he humiliated and he taken the jewel from his head. Then Bhima is telling, you kill Ashwadhama, but Draupadi and other Pandavas are telling, don't kill Ashwadhama. When Arjuna is perplexed like this, how he acted with the help of Krishna's direction, how he acted like that also we have seen. And we have seen text number 1.7.23, 22, 23, how Arjuna surrendered and taken shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. We have seen. If you observe, when the glaring is coming, he says, Krishna, 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 Mahabaho, what is this effulgence? What should I do? He asked that questions in this chapter. Then Krishna says, it's a Brahma, 2 Brahmas are collide. Because of that, that lighting has come. You release one more Brahmastra and subside that lighting. Like that, Krishna guided. Arjuna, this thing. Arjuna, how he surrendered and taken shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna, even at the time of great danger. That also we have learned. Then, from this chapter, Draupadi's great character we have learned. Everybody says Draupadi is how she could marry 5 husbands. Very cheaply they speak. But Draupadi is such a great stalwart devotee of Lord Krishna. She's a chaste lady. That also we have learned from this chapter. Draupadi gives 5 reasons why we should not kill Ashwadhama. She is very pity, and she gives correct reason and justice, and her kindness and humility, and she is very merciful, and she is equal, and not want to suffer the same suffering what she is going to. She don't want to give the same suffering to Ashwadhama's mother. That is also one goodness. And at the tinge of great danger, at the tinge of moras also, she is acting and she is respecting a Brahmana. When Ashwadhama brought in front of Draupadi, she paid obeisances to Ashwadhama. He is the one who killed Draupadi's sons. She is so morose. In the difficult situation also, she paid obeisances to Ashwadhama. What a great character, Draupadi. See, that is the character of Draupadi, not that what we understand from cinema or something else. Some people who don't know Shastra, who don't read Bhagavatam, who don't understand from Guru or Shastra, they'll speak about Draupadi like that. But Draupadi is as a noble character. She's a pativrata. She's a chaste lady. And everybody has forgot, even Arjuna has forgot Dronacharya, his teacher. When Dronacharya is not there, Ashwadhama is representing Dronacharya. When father is not there, son represents the father. That Draupadi could remember. Not anybody else. In that morose situation, to remember all these things, only a pure devotee can remember. Draupadi is a pure devotee also. She is the pure devotee of Lord Krishna. Okay? With this, I'll conclude this chapter. If anybody has got any questions, I'll try to answer 1 or 2 questions. Any questions? Okay. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitya Gaur Premanand.